It's good to be with you all tonight. My name is Ron Werner. I use he, him pronouns. I'm the director of Together Lab and a part of this broader coalition. I'm going to share a story, and then I'm going to share an invite that maybe you've heard some murmurings about taking place on Sunday, February 26th, a mass assembly, a time for all of us and the people that we love and the people that we're connected to in our organizing work to show and exercise our power together. But more about that in a moment. The past couple of weeks, I've spent a lot of time with my head down, trying to explore housing options for a family member who's aging and can no longer afford their housing. Already heard some resonance tonight around that. Is there an apartment they can afford? Do we have room in our house? Can we build an ADU in our backyard? Calls and research and not a lot of affordable options. And it's family, so it's both important and complicated. I know we'll figure something out, and I know so many others in our community have to navigate so much more when looking for affordable housing. But I got to tell you, all of that, like looking down at my screen and looking down in anguish, has made it hard to look out and see a horizon where housing and wholeness is possible. What's pulled me out of the loop is knowing that I'm not alone. This week, it was a family member for me, but it was also a story I heard about someone trying to navigate supportive services in Clackamas County. It was lunch with my friend, a chef who sees his staff struggling to afford living in the city they work. It was a parent worried about their teen who said, if we don't get mental health services for all of these youth who have been through such a collective trauma, will they all end up on the streets? It was another set of tent sweeps. Each of us has stories that are ours and are our neighbors. And as individuals, it can feel like it's our fault or we're to blame. But together, we can unveil the systems at play and organize towards a horizon of housing and wholeness. That horizon is blocked by powerful interests. City council members who only listen to wealthy developers, news articles that look for scapegoats to blame, isolated neighbors susceptible to not in my backyardism, a pandemic that has left us all ready to turn on one another rather than turn toward one another, and billboards, literal billboards put up around the city funded by connected political lobbyists who would have us turn back time rather than look towards that horizon where all can thrive. And so we're coming together as a wider coalition, not as one church or one community or as one individual or as one leader or as staff and non-staff. We're coming together as Clackamas County, Washington County, East Multnomah County, West Multnomah County, our communities and congregations, the people that have been caught up in the swirl of organizing to show and feel our collective power on Sunday, February 26th. From 4 to 6 p.m., we'll be at First Unitarian Church, who is a part of our coalition community. So thankful for Dana Buell, who has helped set up the space for us. But this mass assembly is an opportunity for us to move from the one-to-ones to the land stories, to the house meetings, to a place where we can see just how much power we have built along the way. And I don't know about you, but it's been a long time since I've been with that many people in person at an action. And so it's a little bit of a going public for our coalition. It's sharing with government officials, with all of those who want to block the view of this horizon, the stories that we have heard, and the power that we have, and to say we're ready to change. We're ready to move things. We're ready to remove obstacles. We're ready to build housing, and we're walking together towards a horizon of wholeness. What is a mass assembly and what is it not? As you think about who to invite to this, who gets to thrive in Oregon, mass assembly, I invite you to think about the people who you have talked with as part of your organizing the last 5 months. Maybe they're people from your faith community. Maybe they're people from the school your kids go to. Maybe it's people just fed up with the status quo and want to do something about it. It won't be a consumer experience where you have to make a pitch and say, oh, you got to come. We've got the most dynamic speaker ever, and they're going to tell us how to solve the housing crisis. But what it will be is a chance for us to be co-participants together, to continue stitching together between us these stories that can point us towards a different pathway forward. We really hope that you will come, and we hope that you will invite all of the people that are in your hearts. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to jot down some of those names, some of those people that you've talked to, some of those people you might bring with you to this assembly, to hear these stories, to weave together this greater we. For me, I'm thinking of Carlo, the chef I talked about earlier, who mentioned all of the restaurant workers that he knows who are struggling with destabilization in housing right now. I'm thinking of my friend Jen, who's a neighbor, who we were walking with our kids home from school the other day, and she was talking about all that she cares about in the realm of housing and not really sure what to do or where we could go or how anything could ever be different. It's folks like Carlo and Jen who are holding this weight on their own shoulders by themselves, and this is a chance to bring them into our wider movement community. Go ahead and take a minute now, and I invite you to think of names that you're connected to, people that you will invite or could invite to come to this mass assembly, where we look to answer the question, who gets to thrive in Oregon? What I invite you to do now is to total up some of those names. Is it 4 people? Is it 5 people? Yes, Jennifer, love it. Yes, Dad. I know. I told my partner doesn't come to a lot of my work-related things. Like, you gotta come. Like, this is our moment. We're going. I'm excited to be with you on February 26th. Your heartbeat holders, organizers, everyone are with you in this process. We'll answer all of the detailed questions like parking and who, what, where, when, why through email. But I can't wait to see you on February 26th. It's going to be a really powerful gathering. Thank you.